So in all the videos with diabetes, we're going to be talking about Hirschsprung's too, because that's a part of our lives. That's a part of Michael's life. That's another medical condition he had when he was young. Hirschsprung's, to explain kind of it in a pretty simple form, I guess, is that he didn't have, it's when you don't have nerves in part of your colon or in part of your large intestine, and you have to get that removed, otherwise everything passes through your system, and then it's just like you're plugged up or constipated and you can't keep going. You can't push it out because there's no nerves to keep working that food or whatever is left in you out of your system. So when he was a week old, they had let us out of the hospital, they sent us home, and then he wasn't eating and he was crying like he was in pain. So my wife took him back into the hospital to see what was going on, and they thought he had a twisted gut or something along those lines, some kind of blockage, and they had us in one hospital, and then they sent us by ambulance to another one, to Marybridge in Tacoma, and he was admitted into the ICU there, or the PICU, the pediatric ICU, and at 1 week old, after doing a little bit of work, they realized he had Hirschsprung disease, and they said that they were going to cut him open to see how much of his colon still worked, and that it should just be a small amount, and it's going to be a quick surgery, and they're going to cut that out and everything's going to be good, and he's going to be a happy baby after that. Well, they did the surgery, they had him opened up, and I can't remember exactly how many hours it was. That was a long time ago and not a great memory for me to remember, but they it was multiple hours, and they finally came out and they told us that he had his whole colon was pretty much dead. It didn't work, his whole large intestine. So they had to remove the whole thing, and they had to give him a colostomy bag. And so the whole first year of his life he lived with a colostomy bag, and something that we had to learn to deal with as first-time parents and young parents that were already scared to be parents. And anyway, he at 1 year old, we went back in, and they call it a J-hook pull-through operation, where they sewed his stoma up where it came out of his stomach for his colostomy bag, and they sewed him back up down below so he could go to the bathroom normal. And there's a lot of side effects and a lot of stuff, a lot of complications that he had to deal with that for till now, and still there's stuff we got to pay attention. It's so easy to get dehydrated because your large intestine, that's what soaks up all your fluids, all your water, and keeps you hydrated for the most part. So that had played a big part in the diabetes symptoms. You'll hear about that in the videos. But I mean, that's just a real quick rundown of the Hirschsprungs, what he had to go through. And I mean, once he had that pull-through operation at 1 year old, after never using, never pooping in a diaper, some of the worst diaper rash you can imagine, and it was an experience. And I think we'll probably do more videos on that later, but that's a whole nother subject. And but I wanted to give this video because we're going to reference this a lot, talking about how he was dehydrated going into his diagnosis for diabetes, and how much water he was drinking, and how easy it is to overlook, and just in general that a lot of stuff we talk about has to do with Hirschsprung's too. So just a little bit of background information on him and on us, and we'll have those Hirschsprung or the diabetes videos coming out real soon. We're going to do more of a myself, my wife, and Michael all do our own point of view of him going up to being diagnosed, and then we're all going to sit down together and talk about like the real symptoms everybody needs to look out for. So thank you guys, God bless, and we'll see you soon.